Okay, let's talk about something nobody really wants to admit out loud because it doesn't sound cute and it definitely doesn't fit that leveling up aesthetic everybody loves online. Growth can be lonely, especially if you're an entrepreneur, an aspiring entrepreneur, or building something on your own. That loneliness can hit different because when nobody around you is dreaming like you, thinking like you, or taking the risk you're taking, it can feel like you don't have anyone to talk to about what you're building, what you're worried about for what you're trying to grow. So you end up carrying a lot of that weight by yourself. And I don't mean lonely like you don't have people around you. I mean lonely like you don't feel fully seen anymore. Even in rooms you used to feel comfortable in. Conversations don't hit the same, the jokes don't land the same, the energy feels off, and you can't explain why without sounding like you think you're better than people, and which you really don't. You just aren't the same anymore. And that's the part that sneaks up on you because growth doesn't announce itself. It just slowly changes how you see things, what you tolerate, and who you feel safe being honest around. You start changing internally before your life on the outside catches up, and you end up living in that in between awkward stage where you don't quite fit where you've been, but you're not fully settled into where you're going yet. And that space can feel quiet and uncomfortable in ways nobody really warns you about. People talk about elevation, but they don't talk about isolation. They don't talk about how becoming can feel like a loss before it even feels like freedom. Growth gets lonely when you start outgrowing certain rooms, routines, and relationships, not because you're mad, not because you're cutting people off, but because pretending is exhausting and you don't have the energy to keep shrinking anymore. And when you stop performing the version of you people used to, the silence get loud. And that's when you realize the old version of you was the glue, the fixer, the listener, the one who made everybody feel comfortable. And once you stop playing that role, some connections don't know how to survive without it. And that's the realization that hurts. It hurts to notice the distance. It hurts to feel like the guest in places where you once felt like home. And it hurts to accept that not everybody can go with you, not because they're bad people, but because the relationship was built around a version of you that no longer exists. That's a grief we don't really talk about. Grieving people who are still alive and connections that are still technically intact. And when you're feeling guilty for naming the loneliness because you know you're growing, you know the season is necessary, but it still hurts. And both things, they can be true. Growth gets lonely when you start choosing peace over proximity, alignment over access, and truth over comfort because those choices, they don't come with applause. They come with quiet. But hear me when I say this. Loneliness doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. It means you made the honest one. It means you stop shrinking to stay connected. Stop over explaining yourself to people who benefit from misunderstanding you. And you stop over functioning just to keep the peace. And yes, that costs you, but it gives you yourself back. This season isn't about going backwards just to feel included again. It's about leaning into the seat, learning how to sit with yourself long enough to trust your own voice and your own timing again. So if growth feels lonely right now, you're not failing, you're not abandoned, and you're not doing it wrong. You're just in the middle. And that middle is uncomfortable, clarifying, and necessary. Stay here long enough to hear yourself again. The loneliness won't last forever, but the woman you're becoming in it absolutely matters. Until next time, no edits, just life. All right, that's a wrap. If you felt that in your spirit or laughed, nodded, or yelled same at your phone, go ahead and hit the follow so we can do this again next week. Share it with your crew, drop a quick review, or slide in my DMs if you have thoughts, stories, or just want to say hi. Life's still lifing, but we're in it together. No edits, just life. See y'all next week.